I don't buy and sell cars, but the cars I sell are mainly, not mine.
And what happened with the stolen vehicle that's listed in the police report?
Charged with that, Judge.
Okay. People usually don't do meth recreationally.
I figure if I can abstain from alcohol when I'm out, how hard can it be to do when I'm away?
But I will send you out into the world without any treatment. You will test positive for drugs and you will come back to me and you will say on your motion to revoke, I have a drug problem.
And he drinks and does drugs. That's his whole life.
All right, Jorge Sandoval and probation. This is an application. State of Texas versus Jorge Sandoval. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
David A. Garcia, attorney for Jorge Sandoval, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Sandoval?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have and we have your.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Sandoval, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
God.
Mr. Sandoval, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is.
Mr. Sandoval, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Promise you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. State recommends community supervision. This will run concurrent with County Court Cause number 717410. They're taking in consideration 2024 CR 0293. You are to forfeit the weapon from County Court Cause number 717410. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Not heard, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Conscious.
State any evidence?
We reviewed states one and all attachments, Your Honor. We have no objections.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Mr. Wilkins. Okay. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty.
What a fucking lawyer, motherfucker.
And the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client made some mistakes, but he's hoping to prove himself if you go through with this plea bargain, so that he can become a viable member of our society and not have any further problems.
All right, and what happened with the stolen vehicle that's listed in the police report?
Still looking for fun, Fiona?
He wasn't charged with that, Judge.
Okay. All right, do you have any children?
But instead, he dropped out. He fucked up his kids.
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
7, 12, and 15.
When's the last time you had contact with them before being taken into custody?
Since I've been incarcerated,
All right. And how long has that been?
like 4.5 months.
All right. When's the last time you had employment before being arrested?
So I was employed.
Doing what?
Construction,
How often are you using drugs before taken into custody?
just recreational, like,
People usually don't do meth recreationally. So how long were you using drugs? And let me just tell you, I'm asking you these questions so I can give you conditions that will help you be successful. If you're dishonest with me, I'm going to go by whatever you tell me, even though I may know it's dishonest. And guess what? I will send you out into the world without any treatment. You will test positive for drugs and you will come back to me and you will say on your motion to revoke, I have a drug problem, but I'm going to write down on this docket sheet whatever you tell me. So how often have you been using meth before you were taken into custody?
years.
Hmm?
As in years,
No, I mean, how often per week? How often per day?
like 3-4 times a week.
And if you're released today, do you have a place to live?
Yes.
Who would you be living with?
My family, my parents.
Do they want you there?
Yeah, it's my house too.
No, I mean, people will say with my parents, but they never ask. They just assume that parents will accept them.
Staying at.
This is my home. You have no right to kick me out of it. I am an important part of this family. No, you're not. You don't live here anymore.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 5 years in prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. This is run concurrent with County Court Cause number 717410. There's to be a TAP evaluation in custody and a felony drug court referral in custody. Follow recommendations. With regards to felony drug court, they'll probably be able to see you. Today is Tuesday. They'll probably be able to see you this week.
You staying out of trouble? Well, starting today, you're allowed to be out from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., not 6:01, not 6:02, 6 p.m. And if you miss curfew, you'll violate the terms of your probation and you can go back to jail. Going to NA? First meeting's tomorrow. Just give me a urine sample and we are done.
You want to watch, or am I going instead this time?
You need to be honest with them. It's a good program. They'll be able to help you. But if you're dishonest with them, they're not going to accept you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. The UA hotline
When was the last time you used?
Not since the night of my arrest.
until further notice. Proof of employment within 45 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits, 1 time per month until in treatment. 100 hours of community service restitution,
Ready to put down the booze with me for the next 2 weeks.
I'm going to require parenting classes. Once he completes parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied, and there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Once you're sober, the court will reconsider that. And he's to forfeit the weapon. And county court cause number 717410. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Judge.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Fucker, he's a fucking motherfucking.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Is there any gang issues with you?
No.
All right. And I'm sorry, probation, could you do a gang evaluation as well? All right. In this courtroom, communication is key, especially when you're on probation. If there's an issue you're having, contact probation. If you relapse, contact probation. Do not disappear. If you feel as though probation is not addressing your issue, you can always come back to court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Subscribe! Subscribe.
Let's get the facts straight. She loves a verbal ashtray. Never blowing smoke when she quick to castrate. Love her on a good.
Trying to give you shock therapy?
It's
supposed to be good for you. Need to plug it in first.